You're welcome, welcome, welcome. This presentation is about how to drive traffic to Yookos, and this is presented by myself, Emeka Onozurike from Christ Embassy, Bagada Group, Lagos Zone 2. So our content is going to be divided into 8 critical steps. Step 1 is finding an interesting article online. Step 2 is clicking on it. Step 3 is shortening the link. Step 4 is about logging into Yookos to create a discussion. Step 6 is shorten and hide the URL. Step 7 is to log into the other social site. And step 8 is the result, which is a redirect to Yookos site. So step 1, I'll make a little demo, which is find an interesting news online. So I'm going to look for some interesting news. I think one of those ones that's going on now is Jose Mourinho coming back to Chelsea. So I go to Google and I enter the Jose Mourinho. I'll get all the search results on Jose Mourinho. I'll look for the one that meets what that which meets my objective, which is to draw attention. I see Jose Mourinho in London to seal Chelsea comeback as Mail Online. Now I'll click on that link now. After clicking on the link, it will take me to the site. Actually, it will take me to the actual site. So that is the first step. I'm going to enter. The first step is you enter Google and using keywords find an interesting article. You know people will be interested in reading or something. There are a lot of information online these days. So news comes at the speed of breath. So you can just pick any information anything that you know that is going to capture some audience. So for me, Jose Mourinho comeback is one of those things that I believe will draw people to my content. Yeah, step 2 is about my clicking on the link and actually visiting the site myself. This is the usual activity that is done online. When you go to a search engine, enter the keywords, you find an article online, you actually read it. So you're not going to be posting something that you do not read, because you want to post something that you can engage your audience with. People are going to read that same article and they'll post comments. And if you just copy URL and you don't read without reading it, your engagement will be low because you won't be able to interact with the story. So I advise that you actually read the story yourself to really know what it's about. Digest the content. Now, step 3. Step 3 is about shortening the link or URL. Now you've visited an interesting article online. Every article or every website has a unique domain name and subfolders. So the URL is on your address bar. On the you'll see it begins with http:// So what we're going to do in this stage is I'm going to copy that link that is from that site. So I'll copy that link on my address bar, and I will visit a bit shortener. Find a site. There are a lot of sites online that helps you to shorten your URL. Especially most URL are very long, and sometimes the name of the website is shown. Usually these days, because when you use Twitter, we love to tweet. So in social networks like Twitter, you want to send an information that is short. That's the whole concept about tweeting. It's like the sound of the birds in the morning, So you don't want to just send a very long URL. You want to make the link shorten. So I have a favorite URL shortener that I use. That one is called bit.ly. I'll just paste that link that I've copied. I'll paste it on that bit shortener. There is a space there that shows shortening the link. You click on it and then paste the URL, and it will give you the shortened version of the URL. So in step 4, what I'll be doing here is I will log back into Yookos. I'll log into my Yookos site and attempt to create a blog post. I'll use the title of what I want to communicate. So I want to say how to use other social media to drive traffic to Yookos. I will do that and post the message of, the message I post is actually I'm creating content on Yookos. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a content online on Yookos, and now I'm going to do something interesting, which is I'm going to take that shortened version that I have and paste it on Yookos. I not really what I'm going to do is at this stage is to create the discussion, or a blog on Yookos, not really linking anything yet. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is create the content on Yookos. So step 4 is about creating the discussion on Yookos. At this stage, I have my shortened URL handy, and I want to link it in the discussions that I make. So what I'm going to do is that I will create a discussion on Yookos. So what I'm going to do, actually I'll create a discussion and link it, and insert the link, the shortened link. I will insert it. I may paste it also on the body. That depends on my motive. I will post the shortened URL, but this time I just prefer to embed it as in under the text. So I make the text a hypertext, a kind of hypertext, and insert the link. So still on step 4, what I'm going to do at this point is to publish that story. So I've already typed the text within the text bar, Jose Mourinho returns home. Behind those texts, I've inserted the shortened URL. At this point, one may begin to wonder why I needed to shorten it in the first place, because I embedded. Yeah, I needed to shorten it initially just to demonstrate how you shorten links. So at this point, you may not really understand. It may not really be applicable to this at this point. You may really not appreciate the impact of shortening link. But I'll show you something. So what I'm going to do now is I will publish the story, so you'll see it on the timeline on the Lagos Zone 2 page. Yeah. So this is step 5. Copy the URL in Yookos. Now pay close attention to what I'm going to do. By the time you publish your discussion or blog, usually you see it on the front page and under the recent activity on Lagos Zone 2 page. You see it. You will notice that in this presentation that I've already highlighted an arrow that points to the address bar. That is on your browser. Your browser is usually the software you use to go on internet. So in this case, I'm using a Firefox. There is also Safari, Internet Explorer. All of these browsers They do the same thing. So we will see the address bar. It is not two. You'll see it there. It starts with http www, but in my own case, I'm saying www.yookos.com/group/Christ Embassy /Lagos Zone 2. I'll click on that link. Remember my objective is to get people to come towards Yookos. So what I'm going to do now is to take that link, that URL on Yookos. I'll click on that link, that particular link. I'll copy it. I can paste it on a notepad. I'll paste it on a notepad to save it, to keep it there, and go back to that bit shortener website. So step 6. In step 6, I'm actually going to shorten and hide the link I just copied, the Yookos link that begins with www.yookos.com/ etc etc. So I'm going to put that link, which is the link from Yookos. I will go to my bit shortener website, which is bit.ly, and I'll paste it in that box that says paste a link here to shorten it. And you will see I get the shortened version of that link, and then you will see by the side copy or edit, so I can put it in any format I want it to be like. Now step 7 says log into social site. So what I'm going to do, I will log into Twitter. One of the reasons why I'm going to log into Twitter is because it's like a marketplace. Your objective in driving traffic is that you want to get as much people as possible. It's a game of numbers. You see, if you're able to get 1 million people to come to that site, that is the objective of driving traffic. It's just like advertisements. In an advert, the company that advertising or the marketer, its objective is to reach as much audience as possible, because that's going to lead into conversion. And conversion in this case, as for internet, is about clicking or page viewing. All these things you can call conversion. Or our objective in this case is that we want to increase the number of page views. So conversion in our own case will be people viewing the site, actually coming to Yookos. When we click on that, it takes them to Yookos, and maybe the next step for them would be to create an account on Yookos. When they see what is going on, at least they see this page and they want to hop on board Yookos. So it's still interesting. The most important thing is you want to use the social network that will give you the number. For me, Twitter, I find Twitter as one of those social networking sites. Another one that is also has a huge fan base is Facebook. Then we have the Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc., etc. There are a lot of social networking sites there. You just choose the one. Some of us are in belong to multiple social networking sites. So you can do these things on these different platforms. What you are just doing at the end of the day is that you're driving traffic from those different platforms to your Yookos website. You understand? So that's interesting. So here on this slide, I will talk about the results, redirect visits to Yookos. So you can see on my Twitter feed there, I pasted it. My star, that's my user handle on Twitter, and you see Jose Mourinho stages a comeback. I'll put a hashtag, and a hashtag is a kind of a mechanism that helps you to optimize. It's more of search engine optimization. You want to get the distribution of people who have like minds. Hashing is a way of getting a subset of a social network like Twitter. Twitter uses hashtag to get you people who talk about these are things that are trending, things that discussions, points of discussion. So when you put a hashtag that shows Chelsea, all the people on Twitter that are who have interest in Chelsea or posted something about Chelsea or are commenting on something on Chelsea will stand a chance to see what I post. So you will see after that Chelsea, I now pasted the short link. You can see that short link just shows bit.ly/10drkqx. Imagine how fast that bishortener has shortened my long, what the bishortener has done to shorten that whole long link. You know, these long URLs of articles are usually long. The one I copied on Yookos is quite long. So when I put it on the bishortener, it shortens it. So I just paste it on that, or I create a tweet. I write Jose Mourinho stages a comeback, hashtag Chelsea, and then the b.ly URL. That's interesting because the concept of tweeting, as I said before, is that if you look at the logo of the Twitter, it will even make you understand the concept of Twitter. The birds with their beak doing that sound. You know, when we were kids, we used to see these birds fly about. They come in the morning as if you hear that early in the morning. That's why the concept of Twitter talks about the latest news in town. So the bird is tweeting. So most people, that's the beauty of Twitter. People don't want to see a whole lot of stories, typing long story. No, if you want to type a whole paragraph or a sermon, it is not Twitter, and that is why Twitter is one of the fastest growing social network, because it meets that um, that success factor, that critical success factor, which is short information, short SMS. Imagine somebody sending you an SMS on your phone on advert. You see, once it's more than 2 lines, you don't have the time to read it, because there's what is called big data. We live in an age where data is per second. Your mind is being bombarded by sort of information on your smartphone, you know, on your iPads and your tablets. It's called you know, it's like a kind of an avalanche of information coming. So nobody has the time to read details. What happens is that if anybody is interested, he just clicks on your link and takes him to the site. But what you want to know is that most times, in fact, even if you want to test it at this, look at the newspapers in the morning. How many people actually read newspapers? Even those who buy it, you only see the headlines. The headlines, sometimes just looking at the headlines. I have this habit of just looking at the headlines. When I just see headlines, I'm not interested in. I'm not bothered about reading details. I just know this is the news. Something something. Jonathan something something. You know, federal government this. I just take the headline and I know that's the news of the day. Most times, for most people, that is how people get information. That is why Twitter, for a lot of people, is still the bomb, because they believe people don't like reading. Research shows that most people don't like reading a lot of information online. They like to just see headlines, and that's how the human mind is. You see the pictures, you see short sentences, and it sticks in your mind. The first two sentences are the ones that stick in your mind. So most times, people look at that Jose Mourinho stage, they come back, next thing they click on the link. So the action they will have done in their brain in reading a lot of information, the hand moves faster, and it just clicks, and that takes them to, you know, the Yookos site. And that is my objective. My objective is anyone who clicks that bit.ly/10drkqx, it will take him to Yookos. So if you look at this result still redirected to Yookos, on this slide I will try to demonstrate by clicking my own short link on Twitter. By clicking on it, I see the link taking me to Yookos, and I'm seeing the post that I made on Yookos. So I'm testing it out. So this action of taking me from Twitter to Yookos, as soon as I land on Yookos page, I'm looking at Yookos page, so it has counted as a unique page view. It doesn't matter if I've logged into Yookos or not. The most important thing is that a guest or someone who is signed in is grading that page, so it's counted as a unique page view. So this is the end of this presentation. Thank you for learning. So if you need more information, you can send me an email. My email is eeonuzurike@gmail.com. My website is www.emeka-onuzurike.com.ng. My Yookos ID is Tell My Star, just as my Twitter handle is Tell My Star. So you can feel free to drop a line, ask a question. Nobody knows it all. Don't see me as a guru. Just see me as somebody who is learning. Also, I'm sharing information. There is a whole lot of things happening today on the internet, and for me, I just believe that technology is the future, and the best you can do is to keep learning and sharing information. As you share knowledge, you also acquire knowledge. You find out your deficiencies, you see where you can improve. So you are welcome to send me an email anytime. I will try to respond, or to the best of my ability, to give an advice, a hint, a tip, or some kind of you know um, tutorial or training. I'm a blogger and I blog a lot. I have a number of links online. Um, if you are interested in blogging and learning a number of things online, you can also drop me an email. You want me to design a website for you? I do website designing. I'm a web developer. I also am into app development. I do it on a project-based level. So I do apps, websites, HTML5, JavaScripting, social media embedding. To me, this is my ecosystem. That's where I play. I found this as um, those gifts, as Pastor Chris said, those things that you are not able to do, you just find yourself doing them. That's how I found it. I tell you, I wasn't planning to be an app developer or web developer or any kind of thing like this. All I just happened that each time I call my wife's number, what I hear is Pastor Chris' voice saying, that thing you are not able to do before, you find yourself accomplishing them by the power of the Holy Ghost. And that's how, gradually the thoughts started sifting into my mind to look into certain things like apps and coding. And just like that, I prayed to the Holy Ghost and He gave me ideas. That's how I find myself doing this. And it's really interesting to learn a lot about apps, um, website development, linking, social media, search engine optimization. These things look like buzzwords, but I will advise any of my brothers and sisters out there who have interest to hop on board, because these things sound so distant to a lot of us, but in the nearest future, these things are going to be like the syntax of people's communication. You just find out that if you don't understand some of these things they call hashtagging, trending, posting on social networking sites, you will hardly be able to compete or survive in the world, because a lot of things happening online. Imagine the power of the internet. Young people using social media in a country like Malaysia to oust the government. The last time there was something like that happened in the United Kingdom, I heard the monarchy there, or the government there, shut down Twitter and BlackBerry and etc. Because people know the power of social media. You know, in our own case, we are using it to propagate the gospel, and it's important we know how to do it, because every person with a unique ID all over the world there online represents a soul. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.